Hi everyone, we are Group 6. Today we will present our group assignments. We have 3 members, Yi Yuqian, KK Jia, and Yan Junzhou. 3 of us cooperate to complete this assignment, and today I will be responsible for explaining the first questions, and Yi Yuqian, Yan Junzhou will explain for the second questions. For the first question of the first questions, fair value is calculated based on its share capital, retained earnings, and the assets revaluation surplus, with fair value adjustments to the carrying value of inventories and machinery, net of the impact of related tax. According to the consideration transfer price given in these questions, we can calculate that we have $450 gain on bargain purchase. The acquisition analysis does not account for the dividend paid by the subsidiary prior to the acquisition because the shares were acquired not including dividend. And for the second questions, we need 2 parts, BCVR and the pre-acquisition entries. BCVR is a reserve established for the difference between the book value and fair value of assets and liabilities at the time of acquisition. The inventory entry reflects the sales of 90% of the inventory during this period, and the remaining 10% is adjusted at the fair value of acquisition day, thereby generating the cost of sales and the corresponding PCIV transfer. In addition, the equipment is depreciation during its remaining useful life and considers the increase in fair value. Deferred tax liability are due to an increase in the fair value of inventory and are expected to generate tax in the future. The first entries of the pre-acquisition entry is the same of 2023, July 1st. In addition, on 2022, June 30, 2 entries affected the pre-acquisition entry. 90% of the inventory was sold in the current period, and the retained earnings were transferred to generate reserve, so other pre-acquisition entries were required. For the last questions, the first step is an acquisition analysis. The second step is to prepare a consolidated worksheet, which is an intermediate step in dealing with consolidated accounting. It involves adjusted and limited intergroup transactions and accounts. After compiling these adjustments, the final step is to prepare the final consolidated financial statements, which will present the overall financial position of the combined group. That's all for my part. Thank you.
For question 2, we based on secondary resource and use qualitative methods to study the reasons, impacts, and the eliminations of the policy issued by SSB on companies. Climate change has also affected the development of the business. Some governments have formulated policies that combine climate change with financial conditions to prevent the deterioration of business development. For instance, the SSB issued sustainability and climate change risk disclosure accounting standards in 2023. The questions of this study are what impacts of the policy released by SSB have on business and stakeholders, as well as the eliminations of it. Some scholars believe that the reason why the government issues accounting disclosure standards for climate change and sustainability risks is that climate change brings material risks to business. For example, the price of insurance services provided by insurance companies to cope with extreme weather events will increase due to the increase in extreme weather days. As a result, Some companies will increase insurance costs and suffer huge losses caused by extreme weather. Scholars think that there are some benefits for SSB's policy. First, it's beneficial for investors to make financial decisions. The SSB requires companies to disclose information related to climate change and sustainable development. Investors can evaluate the future development opportunities and risks of companies based on this data. Second, it promotes comparability. The SSB requires consistency in the sustainability reports of the companies, making them comparable. Then it also improves reliability. If a company is forced to provide reports to SSB, it may attach the attention of the board of directors, requiring the finance department to prepare useful and reliable reports.
About research method, our study used secondary sources such as data from Australian government organization survey reports and data from other studies. We follow the qualitative approach for our research topic. It fits with gathering experiences, perceptions, and behavior related to process and patterns of human behavior that can be difficult to quantify. Allowed to explain the participants' thinking, feeling, and experiencing at a certain time or during an event of interest. In qualitative research, we adopt content analysis for our findings. Next slide, please. Through the study of our research questions, there are three main issues exist in the sustainability-related topic of accounting standards and regulations. The data from Australian government reveals that most of business reviews contain false, misleading, unclear, or unsubstantiated green or sustainable plans. The reason why this happened could be that the regulation failed to conduct the organizations to associate their interest with sustainability issue in a solid way. Also, the general regulation might be inadequate in detailed information for the organization to apprehend the essential mode of regulations. Another difficulty for the application would be the measurement of liabilities for sustainability, particular to disclosure. Organizations don't really know how to define and measure the information that should be disclosed, which is especially sustained through interpretation and shared meanings. Specific information in terms of how to measure liability and present on the disclosure is required to be conducted with an explicit approach to the organization in the regulation in order to improve its application. On the other hand, the increasing cost of complying with the relatively regulation causes concern among stakeholders generally. The stakeholders worry about the cost-benefit performance of the sustainability-related reporting and are unclear about the future benefit of this investment. This could be a result of lack of comparison mode and lack of a comprehensive understanding of the scope of the relative field. Next slide, please. Here's our reference. And this is end of our presentation. Thanks for watching.